Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm Doug MacCallum with the dealer sales team here at Formax, and today I am going to be showing you the DDC50 digital die cutter. So obviously the newest cutter in our line. This machine is for anything from stickers to small packaging to I don't know, jewelry, box hangers, whatever you want. What I'm going to talk to you about today, if you haven't seen it already, we did launch this product in August. Probably our hottest new product, certainly in our Cut-True line. I'm going to go through, first of all, how you can create almost anything with this product, how easy it is to use, and then talk to you about the industry-leading support that you have behind it. So, is this machine for everyone? Yes, I think it is. So, everyone pay attention. I'm happy to show you how the machine works and everything going forward. Just before I get started with the actual machine, I do want to give you kind of a real life example of someone who could use this. So two of my best friends that I live close to in Maine actually started a soccer club, Southern Maine Football Club, up in Kennebunk, Maine. So for them, I had this idea. You know, they go to 2 tournaments a year. They have tryouts in June. They've got a number of events that they put on for the kids and the parents alike. So they're always doing things like creating name tags, door hangers for hotel rooms, things like that. Little menus for what parents can bring for game time snacks. Those numbers for the tryouts, things like that. And they outsource all that stuff. So I said, hey guys, you're doing this multiple times a year. How much are you paying for that to outsource it? And then what's the stress like if someone forgets to do that and go to Staples or whoever and have them do it? You can do it right in your own living room or right in your office with this machine. Now, most of you can probably see this is a pretty standard copy MFP here. They have one of these in their office. All they would need to do to finish their label making for bumper stickers or there's door hangs or anything like that is add the DDC50 to their lineup. So think about that while I'm going through the presentation. Any end users on the call, think about how you could use this to really boost your marketing and productivity. So the first thing I want to do is go to the Cut-TrueDDC Pro station here. This comes standard with the machine. So Travis, if you want to pop into the camera here. So again, this comes standard with the machine. You get the software, the Cut-TrueDDC software. You get the cutter itself. You get this nice looking station, the computer involved, the computer as well, and everything that goes with it. So first thing you want to do when you're creating a file is you pull up your template library. So when you pull that up, you have about 30 or so different templates that come standard on the machine. So really simple, a lot of custom or common applications rather, but you can also create custom templates. So they would come down in the user templates down here. Now if you have something that's not completely custom, you just need to change, something like this little pillowcase, for example, or whatever, and you wanted to just change the dimensions to make it what you need it to be, all you do is come right over here, change the height, the length, and the width, and off you go. And it automatically does everything to scale for you. From that point, there's a little button down here that says Export to Illustrator. So you click on that, and Illustrator would pop up. Now you would see your cut lines and crease lines, obviously different colors. So this blue or cyan line is going to be your crease lines, and then the magenta ones are going to be your cut lines. So from here, once you have this up, you'll add your artwork. So you put everything behind it, line everything up, you know where your creases are going to be. I like to, and our marketing team especially, they like to kind of full bleed everything, so go a little bit over the top so that everything full bleeds when we actually cut this out. From that point, I already have registration marks and QR code here, but you go up to File, right in Illustrator, and click on that to get your registration marks and QR code. As simple as that. So the next thing you do, as you can see, I'm not a graphic design guy, so I'm not super good with this, but the next thing you would do is go up, File, Print, and if you want to pull out, then I'd come over to my printer where I printed off my nice media. And now I have a different application here. As you can see, this is probably 10 or so different little labels that you can make all different shapes and sizes, and this machine is going to cut all of them. So you want to pull out your catch tray here, pull this up, and then Trav, if you want to go to the back camera, I'll show you how to load it. So from the back here, truck one in, and now because I have this QR code on every file, it doesn't matter. I don't have to load everything in the same way, and I don't necessarily have to load the same file in. So if I had something completely different, like a golf ball box, as long as it's the same size sheets, the machine is going to read that barcode every time, and it will know exactly what to cut. So get our side guides in, not too snug, but not too loose. You don't want skew. This is just a little magnetic backdrop thing there. So now we're in there. That's perfect. Try if you want to pull out again. And go to the screen. I'm sorry. So now at this point, I pull up the Cut-True Production Studio. So this is actually where all I would do now, because I've created that file, let me just jump back real quick. So once you save this file, it's going to create an ILL file. It'll save right to your computer here, and now the DDC50 will know what to cut. So all I simply have to do is check that I have the right paper size in here. So we go 12 by 18, and I'm going to hit Scan QR Code. Now as soon as it scans the QR code, you'll see it up here. It's going to scan the little camera that's actually inside the machine. So as soon as it does that and does all the registration marks, you'll see the file up on the screen here. So there you go. We've got all our different shapes, and it knows that this is a label cut application. So you can pull out if you want. And off we go. So it's going your intricate cuts, and on the screen here, it's actually in real time graying out what the machine is cutting in real time. So in the actual machine, we've got our creaser tool and then our blade tool. So these can be interchanged. You can have two blades, you can have two creases. I don't know why I really do that, or you can have one of each. This one in particular is just for our label cutting. Now all the blades come in these little blade holder things here, and we always recommend that you have at least two of these, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So this one is set up already. We already have it dialed in for our label cuts. And what the one that I have in my hand here is for box cutting, which is the application that I'm going to show you next. So if you're looking for something like this, a little late night menu, whatever it may be, that's what you can go for. Now what's really good about this machine as well, and it's kind of funny actually, our marketing team uses this all the time. So Charlie from marketing will put a big stack of paper on this at the end of the day. Whatever we got to cut out, whatever he needs for marketing the next day or the next week, and he'll just let it run overnight. And that annoys our service manager because he's like, what machine is going? He's trying to get out of here at 5:30 on a Friday night, and he hears the machine whirring. He says, oh, there goes Charlie again. So this one right now is getting real intricate with that kind of Yeti. Again, all these were designed by our marketing team. None of this is, this is all custom made. You can see how intricate the cuts are. And as soon as that finishes, I'll show you, I'll peel it off and you can kind of see. But pretty interesting little thing there. See, it's nearly finished, so everything that's been done is all grayed out. And now it's just on that last kind of postage stamp little thing, all New Hampshire themed, obviously, as we're up here in Dover, New Hampshire. I don't know what it's like for you guys, the rest of the country, but it's absolutely freezing here. Well, actually, today was it's up to 24, so a long way from -7 yesterday. All right. So now it's going to keep going again. I have it set up, I think, to run 2, and you can see the intricate cuts that we got. So there's your Yeti. Look how, I don't know how that looks on the camera, but you can see how detailed this machine can get. And obviously a big sticker like that's pretty simple. You got your bear. This one I'm pretty sure they did for Patrick Manning, he's a big hiker. Peter postage meter with the postage stamps there. You don't use those anymore, obviously. But yeah, all sorts of different applications that you can have. And again, this is like 10 different ones that we have, and they're all cut on the same file, so pretty good. Think about now, if you're an end user or if you're a dealer, think about the different applications that you can use or your customers can use with this. I've got a couple written down here. For example, I mean, just if we kind of focus on, we've talked about internally here about education. So our VP of the company, Brandon, his daughter, you know, when she goes to school and she does something really great, they give them a sticker for the day, so they get to wear a star on their shirt, and everyone knows, like, oh, that's the best person in the school or whatever. They get all proud. But the school being able to do something like that on demand themselves, where they don't have to outsource it to anything, it's saving them a bunch of money, a bunch of time. You can make business cards on this machine, so custom shaped business cards, for example. Sean, that works here with us on the dealer sales team, he came up with you know, it's freezing here, which he hates. We thought, well, maybe like a snowflake shaped business card or something along those lines. I thought that was kind of a dumb idea, but you know, that's his prerogative. He can do what he wants. He's coming up with, this is my point about this, is that you can almost create anything, any shape, and certainly that would be an intricate design, a snowflake, but it can do it. As you can see, it's coming around with all these different I don't know, flowers and things like that. It's doing all of that. But you know, not just to harp on schools, but name tags at schools, door hangers. You know, if they're even postcards or something. You know, things like that. Travis is saying something behind it. What else?
I was saying posters on the walls.
Posters on the walls. Good point. Yeah, that's excellent. I'm thinking also hospitality. It's a big market in hospitality. So if you think of you know, we just had our big sales kickoff meeting at the beginning of the year. They had all our little name tags out there. You know, that's a big one. These hotels are holding big conferences. Let's you know, talk to them about doing all this stuff in house. So again, here we go. We've got our little stickers here. Same application. Next thing I want to do is show you how easy it is to change over to another application. So, as I mentioned before, I've got my box cutting knife here. All I'm going to do is pop this open, pull that blade out, and we have them labeled, so we've got, you know, label cut. I don't know how well you can see that or not, but you can do that. You can just put a little marker. But changing things out is as easy as that. Trav, if you want to jump back behind while I load the box application. So now, I've got 13 by 19 sheets. Same thing, QR code, registration marks. So this is why you can't have, you know, two different size sheets in at the same time. I'm going to just put them in. I like doing this. Because the back and side guides, obviously you have to do it for the appropriate type of paper, size paper. You don't want it to be jostled. You don't want it to be too snug, because it'll bow, but you don't want it to be too wide because it'll jostle. This can pop out. Pop to this camera, actually, the screen, please.
You got it.
Thank you, sir. And same again. All I have to do is go up to productivity, click 13 by 19, okay, and then scan the QR code. Takes a little bit for the deck to raise. And there you can see, now we have the cyan lines for the creasing and the magentas for the cutting. So if you want to pull out again, Trav. A lot of pulling out these cameras. Now you can see and you can hear, hopefully, that the cutter going up and down. As it's doing that, this is another application for this. So this machine can create perfs. So as this is going down right now, what it's doing is actually, it's not doing the full cut. It's leaving little tabs on there. So obviously the media is not going to be jostled around in there. It always does the creasing first. You can change that on the screen. I mean, obviously you want to do probably the creasing before the cutting. So if you jump into the screen, this is how you do it. You can just hit these little arrows, but the crease, whatever's on top is what it's going to do first. And now you can see it's going through these real intricate lines around this raspberry and leaf kind of thing. But it's able to do that because of the blade in there. It can do that contour cutting. This is a pretty interesting little application if you want to pull out travel. Again, a lot of this stuff custom by the marketing team. And there you have it. So the tabs keep that media in there. And now all I have to do is kind of shake these out. And now you've got your right there. And what's what you get? That's what you come up with. So see how easily I just folded that. But really intricate little lines in there. It's super. It can really get through the application. And I'm not sure what it didn't like there, but this is what I wanted to mention this actually. So if you have a stack of sheets, like I said, like Charlie does, and you leave it for the night. If you want to pull out to the main camera. If I have a stack of sheets, for whatever reason, if the machine misses the QR code or misses one of the registration marks, it's just going to kick it out and then let it go again. So it's not going to. It'll just pop one sheet out and then pull the next one in. So it's not going to just stop if you have a big stack and you're going to say, oh, well, what happened? I thought we were going to have a whole big thing, but. That's really what's great about this machine. And again, you can use all sorts of different applications. So as long as I have the same size sheets, this 13 by 19, if I have this application in underneath that, it's going to scan the QR code. If I have a late night menu with one of these, it's going to do that. And this is a pretty neat little one. This is a custom sized box, so obviously the main application is a little bit smaller than this. But we just wanted to make it a little bit bigger for, there's nothing in here, but just make it a little bit bigger for our uses. And it was just like I showed you at the beginning of the presentation. You just change the height, width, and depth, and that does it all. It sorts it all for you. So, as you can see, pretty quick. You can change the tab lengths. You can change the tab thickness. So if it's a little thicker media, anything like that, you can do that. But a lot of different substrates you can use with this machine. And again, you're just adding. So if you already have a printer, this can print on label stock. This can print on cardboard, cardstock, whatever it is. A lot of different substrates. You're just adding this machine to finish. So label finishing. If anyone's out there that does label finishing or anything, we have a label printer, roll to roll fed. But if you have customers that don't want to buy a whole new system, they've already got existing printer in their office. This could be their office right here. They've got their printer and they've got their finisher right next to it. So you can print your label stock right on your MFP, and then you already have a way to finish it. Any kind of shape, size, anything like that. So it's really kind of a fantastic thing. So now we've seen how to use the software. Hopefully you understand how do you go from start to finish, where I create a file, print it off, load it on here. And again, I love doing this. Just pops those out, nice and easy. And you have your, again, you can fold them super quick. So you just, all you gotta do is that, and then you got your, there you are. So cocktail menus, brilliant. So again, start to finish, set up your file, put it on and go. It's just as easy as that. And again, you can create anything. Now I want to talk a little bit about the support and service. So obviously you have when we're talking about the software for the machine itself, we will come in. You'll have a Formax technician remote in and train you, install the software and train you on the software. So the other thing we have, our marketing team has a really great video on the website and on our YouTube channel about exactly how to create a file. So working with Adobe Illustrator and working with the DDC50 software to create your own files, create custom files, create files from the templates that come with the DDC software. Check that video out after this presentation because it's super helpful. And then again, support these machines. We have our dealer network that we trust unequivocally. I mean, they're fantastic. And then we have our whole team here. You'll probably talk to maybe Sean in service here. He's fantastic. He loves this machine more than I do, maybe, which is a little bit annoying. Actually, he probably knows more about this machine than I do at this point, which that does frustrate me, but also drives me to learn a little bit more about it. So I'm the guy as far as operating it. If you want to talk to someone about how to service the machine, Sean's the guy too. And I'll be honest with you, if there's something I don't know, I just go to him. So, but we have that support behind you. Our dealers are trained on these machines when they go out there. I would encourage you guys to get these in your demo rooms. I'd certainly encourage you guys to get these in your print shops if you're an end user on the call. This machine, super easy to use. You can create anything and you've got that support behind you. So, we talked a little bit about applications, but I do have a couple other ones I want to talk to about before we get to any questions. I don't know if you guys have any, but I was kind of collaborating with Travis the other day. If you have hospitals in your accounts, wristbands, door tags, things that are always changing. I'm an animal lover, so I thought about veterinarian clinics, boarding tags. One of my first job was I used to take care of all the dogs at Old Derby Animal Clinic in Hingham, Massachusetts. So I take care of the dogs and the cats, and we'd have to actually change the name tags out on each cage that they were staying in before I take them out, that kind of thing. Temporary collars, so cardboard collars, things like that. But wristbands. If you have casinos, table tents, any kind of birthday crowns, things like that, you can make almost anything on this machine. So I can talk till I'm blue in the face, and I'm almost blue in the face right now, to be honest with you. So we can talk at length about that. But really think about, if you're a dealer out there, think about your customers and how this machine can benefit them. And for the end users out there, think about what you can do with this in your office. So just adding one piece of machinery, it's not super expensive for what you can do. Adding that is really going to help you, be more productive and bring some of that stuff that you're outsourcing in-house. So that's enough for me. I think, do we have any questions? I know we had some commonly asked questions from our team, but is there anyone on the call right now that has any questions?
One of the questions that just popped into the chat was, what sort of limitations does the DDC50 have? So,
that's kind of a broad question, but I suppose, well, certainly there's a thickness, too thick of paper, so it's rated for up to 350 microns, which is just a thickness level, but if you're translating that to paperweight, probably 350 GSM is what we would recommend. We've tested on all sorts of different types of paper, so that permanent paper, we've had kind of varied results. We tested some of that permanent paper, and the biggest issue that we ran into is the machine will cut it, but it can be kind of staticky. So we loaded on a paper jogger, got rid of some of that static electricity and put it on. It worked pretty well, but we had some varying results. I'm not sure. I've actually heard people have asked me about magnet cutting. I haven't tested that. I think that might be a little too much for this machine. So as far as limitations go, hopefully that answers the question. But if you want me to go in deeper with that, certainly reach out to me or your account representative.
I think it's a fair answer. Size and weight of the paper is probably the two main things. But from a shape perspective, you can really design anything.
Yep.
And the machine can cut it down. With some pretty minute details.
Yeah. We had, and I wanted to touch on one thing. So you guys saw me work with the templates, and obviously work with Adobe Illustrator and graphics, and obviously our marketing team put those nice graphics up. That's not the only thing. So we had a jewelry store actually has They're a little paper that you want to hold your ring in there, or earrings or necklaces, things like that. So they just had a plain white piece of paper, but they need certain cuts to be able to hold the jewelry on that paper. So this machine can do that as well.
This is a good one. So there's a question that says, could you recap the advantage of having the workstation versus trying to drive it off your computer?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you wanted to, everything that this comes with that. So if you didn't want to use this workstation itself, you could use your computer. You can hook it up. You can download the DDC software and the template maker and Adobe Illustrator on your own computer and hook it right up to this. We offer this workstation because it's, a lot. You might have multiple people in your office that are creating artwork, and all they would have to do is either put it on a USB drive or network this computer so that everything can come to here, and then you can cut everything with that computer. So there's not really an advantage or a disadvantage, just really how you want to handle your workflow.
Good question. MSRP on the machine?
Yep, $17,995.
Including everything you see there, and
Yep.
that virtual remote installation from our service team.
Correct.
And training on the software.
Yep, so $17,995, you get the computer, the station, the software with remote installation and training, and the cutter itself. Not the MFP. That's not included in that.
Doug doesn't sell those.
I don't sell those, yeah. What else you got for me? Any other brain busters?
I think that the most common, frequently asked questions about the tools.
Yep.
So you wouldn't mind showing the different tools that come with it?
Yeah, definitely. So I mentioned it kind of briefly, but we use the creasing tool only on the the cardstock application. But this is your creasing tool, and then you also have your cut tool. So your creasing tool comes with a wide crease, and you can flip it over for a thin crease, and then you've got your cutter tool as well. And it comes. You have I think you get 3 blades with the machine. They really don't have to be changed out very often. I ran this for 3 days at Print United, almost 8 hours a day, maybe a little bit less, but it was almost constantly running. We didn't have to change the blade out, so that should tell you something. But yeah, 2 spots for tools. So you can have. We actually have another one where I have an application for laminated labels, so especially really good for bumper stickers, weatherproof kind of things, where we're cutting out the laminated the label itself, but then there's a bigger cut. So you get a die cut and a kiss cut all in one, and all you have to do is change out the creaser tool for your second blade tool. But yeah, again, we recommend that you get another blade holder. So if you're switching from labels to boxes, you don't have to dial the knife in each time. You can just as easy as I'm doing it here, pop this one in when I'm done with that application, pop it out, pop my other one in, and you're good to go.
It's a good one. It's actually from Nicole from Pulse, one of your dealers.
Okay, hi Nicole.
She's looking for some help with adjusting the cutter to properly cut the paper, and looking for some automatic tips. So that might be a good training for you to do for them.
Yeah, definitely. I'll jump off and talk to you after about that one for sure.
About how to adjust the blades.
Yep.
Good question. Can a customer use their own computer if they didn't want to use the workstation?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So this is you think about it like any other printer. You can network to this, or you can hook it up. Yeah, you don't have to use the station, but we just, like I said, we just include that if you have multiple users in your organization that are creating files and things like that, it just makes it maybe easier. But yeah, no, you can use your own computer.
And along with having your common office copiers, Doug's point early in the presentation, this Cut-True software works great with Illustrator, which is the most common design tool in any office.
Yep.
This is a good question from our friend Dan over at Whitaker. And he asked about purchasing supplies and consumables separately, and if so, what are the items and how much and how often they need to be replaced?
Yeah, so the blades actually are really pretty tiny. I'm going to take them out now. They're not super expensive. Again, I don't have a good, off the top of my head, on how quickly. Obviously, it depends how often you're running the machine, the thickness of the stock of the paper, things like that. So there's not really a good answer when you have to change the blades out, but we do have all those parts available here for purchase. Or if you're an end user, you can purchase them through your dealer, certainly.
And thank you to Anthony and Jim for your great questions as well.
Thanks, guys.
Are there any other questions for Doug? Giving him a minute.
Someone typing. Can you see that? I don't know.
I think that's all of them, my friend.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys. Everyone have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. If you have any questions, always reach out to your representative here. We love demoing equipment. So if you have questions, like I said, probably ask me or you can ask your representative, but they're just going to ask me those questions anyway. So thank you again, guys. Appreciate you jumping on, and hope to see you soon.